Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Aqueduct Racetrack here on Saturday. It is the 3rd of April, 2021. Going to look at the stakes races on the program from Aqueduct, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kit 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. It's Wood Memorial Day from Aqueduct, and we're going to look at all the stakes races 4, 6, 8, 9, and 10. So those were races 4, 6, 8, 9, and 10. Let's get to it right now, starting off with the 4th race from Aqueduct, which is the Bayshore Stakes, Grade 3, purse $200,000, race for 3-year-olds. We have a field of 5 horses going to post the distance of ground of 1,400 meters, or the distance of ground of 7 furlongs on the Aqueduct main track. 1,400 meters, 7 furlongs here in the Bayshore. And I show the diagram, it just gives me a second to look down my notes, just bear with me. My top selection, we're going to go with the rail horse, the one horse who is 2 Boss. We'll go 1-3-4-2 in the superfecta, 1-3-4-2 super. Top selection, 1 horse, 2 Boss. 3-year-old colt by Al Pardino. Tom Pletcher trains. Kendra Carmouche gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came on the 23rd of February at Parks. Sloppy Seal going a mile 70 and ops 50. Horse's first start around 2 turns. First start on an off track. He finished 4th by 7 lengths, and it just wasn't a recipe for success. Also, he was drawn very wide, which just did not suit him well. Back to 7 furlongs, back to Aqueduct. He's in a more realistic spot to win, even with a massive upgrade in class. He's still, like I said, I think he's more of a 7 furlong kind of horse. 2 back in the main special weight, 77K here at Aqueduct, 7 furlong, 17th of January. He won by 5.5 lengths in a good stalking position, a little bit wide, but when he quickened up, he got the job done. A very good race with first-time Lasix, and then debut on the 19th of December here at Aqueduct, 6 furlongs, main special weight, 80,000. He finished second by 5.25 lengths there. He just kind of stalked, never quickened up, never weakened out of it. He just plodded along. I didn't think it was a half bad debut. He's been training well at Belmont on the training track. At 6-1, we'll give him a shot with the cutback and trip. Your second likeliest winner is the 3-horse Drain the Clock for Safi Joseph. He just didn't stay the mile 16th in the Fountain of Youth most recently, but cutting back to 7 suits him well, and he's been training very well at Gulfstream. Let's use him on the ticket, but 1-2 is not a very good price. But to recount my selections now for the 4th from Aqueduct. It is the Grade 3 Bayshore. Let's take the 1 horse, 2 Boss. Give kudos to the 3 horse, Drain the Clock. We'll go 1-3-4-2 in the superfecta, 1-3 in the multi-race. The 6th race now from Aqueduct, the first Grade 1 of the year here in New York. It is the Carter Handicap. It's a Grade 1 event going for a purse of $300,000, race for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have only 5 horses going to the main track, the distance of ground of 1,400 meters, or the distance of ground of 7 furlongs on the Aqueduct main track. 1,400 meters, 7 furlongs here in the Carter. And if you remember, last year the Carter was run the first Saturday in June at Belmont, but because everything in 2020 got screwed up, so it's good to be back at Aqueduct in its usual time spot. But my top selection here in the Carter, I'm going to go with the 1 horse Mind Control. We'll go 1-3-2-5 in the superfecta, 1-3-2-5 super. Top selection, 1 horse Mind Control, 5-year-old horse by Stay Thirsty. Gregory Siaco trains. Junior Alvarado connects with this horse. The horse's most recent outing came 19th of December at Gulfstream, 7 furlongs in the Mr. Prospector. He finished 3rd by 3.25 lengths. It was very low to Mr. Prospector this year. He sat back early mid-pack. He quickened up a little bit. I didn't think he ran a half bad race against some very tough horses. He showed some old hidden form. He jumped back to a 92 buyer, which I didn't think was half bad. 2 back though in Lafayette at Keeneland, 7 furlongs, 7th in November. He finished 9th by 18.25 lengths. He was drawn very wide that day, and he just couldn't quicken up. And you just saw a very tired, weary horse there. Like I said, I just don't think it was 100% cranked. And then before then, the Mr. Prospector at Monmouth, 6 furlongs, the 12th of September race. He should have won. He finished 3rd by 5 lengths, and he just didn't have the best trips early on, and just never quickened up. It was never comfortable there. And then before then, the 4 go throw that race out on the slop, because it basically was in a complete downpour, and the horse win closed up from nowhere mid-pack. Complexly ran a great second and 1 next start out, but this horse just wasn't really running. And then he ran a decent 3rd in the Vanderbilt behind Volatile, and ran 6th in the Carter last year at Belmont. But he likes Aqueduct. He's 5-4 on the surface. He actually won here 2 years ago on this card by winning the Bayshore as a 3-year-old by 1.25 lengths, being a decent group of horses home. After that, he ran a disappointing 8th in the Woody Stevens, but went on to win the Grade 1 Alan Jerkins on Travers Day in 2019, and followed the win in the Toboggan here after that, and won the Tom Fool last season. But after the Tom Fool, his form just kind of slightly fell a little bit, but he showed some hidden form last time on that Mr. Prospector. Off the bench, back to Aqueduct, his favorite surface. At 4-1, we'll give him a massive shot. The three horse shoplifted, you can't throw out either. This 4-year colt by Into the Mischief. Most recent race at Oaklawn, he needed the race. It was his first off the bench, and he's just stupidly wide there. But if you look at some of those races last season, he could win against these horses. I also like the cutback to 7. 5-1, we'll definitely use him in the multis. But to recap my selection for the 6 from Aqueduct, it's the Carter Handicap, the Grade 1 Carter Handicap. We'll use the 1 horse Mind Control, give kudos to the 3 horse Shoplifted. We'll go 1-3-2-5 in the superfecta, 1-3 in the multi-race. Now, we're not going to look at the 7th race for YouTube, but go look at that 7th race here from Aqueduct. It's a great turf race, and it might be one of the best betting races of the afternoon. You have some very Class C horses running in the 7th race, but we're not going to look at it for YouTube. Look at it on the side. And if you follow me on Twitter, I'll give you my thoughts on that, though, but maybe. But we'll look at the 8th race now from Aqueduct, which is the Excelsior Stakes, Grade 3, purse $150,000, race for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 7 horses go 1 lap around the Aqueduct main track, which is 1,800 meters in circumference, or a mile and 1/8 on the Aqueduct main track. 1,800 meters, 1 mile 1/8 here in the Excelsior. My top selection, we're going to go take the number 3 horse here, Backside the Moon. We'll go 3-4-7-5 in the superfecta, 3-4-7-5 super. Top selection of 3 horse, Backside the Moon. This 9-year-old gelded by Malibu Moon. Robert Claceris trains. Trevor McCarthy gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 8th of February here at Aqueduct. Mile and 8th and off 6-2 claimer. He finished third by 5 1/4 lengths. They sent him to the lead that day. He just couldn't keep up late. It just wasn't his day to win off the quick turnaround. Come back here off a little bit longer refreshing of nearly 2 months. I think he's in a very good spot to win. And, when he was in the Claceris barn, his form really came back, I thought. So I think that's come back to it today. Should really sim well. Previous trainer we was in the Rodriguez barn for Rapoli Stable. Before the 8th February race, he ran in the Gazelle here at Aqueduct, mile 8th in mid-January, where he finished 4th by 20 lengths. And the thing I've noticed, as the favorite, when he's the favorite, he never wins and never runs good races. As the favorite in the Gazelle, he just really digressed there and just was very tired, stupidly wide. It wasn't his day to win, but before that, as the second choice at 7-2 in the Queens County Handicap at Aqueduct, mile 8th, December the 19th. He won by 6, and on the front end all throughout, a 106 Spire. That was the best of his career for an 8-year-old. That was a very good run. Okay, it wasn't the best Queens County, but it was still an all-around good race there. And then before that, at Aqueduct, mile 8th on the slop-off main track, and off 6-2 claimer, he won by a neck, and again, he stalked, quickened up nicely, and fought a good race to the end, and a good classic horse race, getting the job done there. And then before that, at Belmont, mile 16th and off 6-2, finished second by 1.5 lengths, and he stalked, and he really, if he wasn't stopped at the top of the lane, he probably would have won, but he still ran a terrific race there. I like him back to Aqueduct, like him off the bench. At 5-1, I love him a lot. It would be cool for the 9-year-old war horse to kind of win the Excelsior, so we'll use him here. The second likeliest winner is the 4 horse Lemonites, 5-year-old horse by Lemon Drop Kid. His race last time out in the Stymie, I just don't think he's a mile horse. I think he likes the mile late, like he did 2 back, where he won by 5, beating actually Backside the Moon. I think he should get a good trip. At 9-2, definitely use him in the multis. But to recap my selections now for the 8th from Aqueduct, it's the Excelsior. Let's take the 3 horse Backside the Moon. Give kudos to the 4 horse Lemonite. We'll go 3-4-7-5 in the superfecta, 3-4 in the multi-race. To the 9th race now from Aqueduct, which is the Gazelle Stakes, Grade 3, purse $250,000, race for 3-year-old fillies. 8 horses are going 1 lap around the Aqueduct main track again, which is 1,800 meters in circumference, or 1 mile and 1/8 around. 1,800 meters, a mile 1/8, Aqueduct main track. My top selection, we're going to go take the number 5 horse, The Grass is Blue. We'll go 5-8-1-4 in the superfecta, 5-8-1-4 super. Top selection, 5 horse, The Grass is Blue. This 3-year-old filly by Broken Vow. Chad Brown trains. Manny Franco gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 6th of March here in New York at Aqueduct, mile and 8th in the Busher Invitational, and the horse finished third by 6 1/4 lengths. Sat back early, a little bit wide, but he was mowing them down. This horse looks like she is a 2-turn horse. Around 2 turns today, back to 2 turns today. I think this horse should really run an improvement off that Busher. 2 back in the Busanda here at Aqueduct, mile 8th, January 24th. The horse won by a length there and ran a terrific race. Stalked, slowly moved his way up, quickened up nicely, and when she got through, the race was over. An all-around good race there. And then before that, in the Anne Arundel County Stakes at Laurel, mile 16th on the 26th of December, finished third by neck there. Sat back early after a horrible beginning, stupidly wide around the turn, but really fought a good third place finish late. If the race was mile late, the horse would have won, but there was nothing bad about that race. And then before that, British Cup weekend at Keeneland, 6.5 furlongs in the Songbird, finished 6 by 10.5 lengths, moved a little bit that day, but you need to be close to the front end that weekend at Keeneland. And then before that, Keeneland 6.5 off 75, first time facing winners, winning by 3.5 lengths, closing up from the back of the pack after a horrible beginning. All around good race. I like the horse with the longer trip. He's been training well. 4-1 Let's User. Your second likeliest winners to 8-horse search results for Chap Brown and Ira Ortiz. The Buchanan, the horse won by a half length, really winning very nicely. And the debut before that on 3rd January Gulfstream, the horse just put on a show there, basically, winning for fun, even with a horrible beginning there. Training well again, around 2 turns at at even money, you have to put him on the ticket. But to recap my selection for the ninth from Aqueduct, it is the Gazelle. Let's take the 5-horse to Grass is Blue. Give kudos to the 8-horse search results. We'll go 5-8, 1-4 in the superfecta, 5-8 in the multi-race. To the 10th race now from Aqueduct, the Aqueduct feature race of the meeting. It is the Wood Memorial, grade 2 purse, $750,000, race for 3-year-olds. 9 horses are going 1 lap around the Aqueduct main track, which is again 1,800 meters in circumference, or guess what? 9 furlongs, or 1 mile and 1/8 around. 1 mile, 1/8 here in the Wood Memorial. And, I think it's a good Wood Memorial this year. Well, I would say last year wasn't a good Wood Memorial, but we didn't run one last year. The last one was run in 2019, which seems like an eternity ago. But with everything seems like it's slowly going back to normal here in New York. So hopefully, everything will get back to pre-COVID very soon. My God, I hope it is. But my top selection here in the Wood Memorial, we're going to take the 6-horse Prevalence. I'm going to go 6-4-8-2 in the superfecta, 6-4-8-2 super. Top selection 6-horse Prevalence. This Godolphin homebred 3-year-old colt by Medaglia d'Oro. Brendan Walsh trains. Tyler Gaffleon comes in from South Florida to ride the horse. The horse's most recent outing came the 11th of March at Gulfstream, 1 mile at Alps 75, and the horse went by 3 lengths. And it was a paid workout that day. He stalked, slowly got the lead, quickened up nicely, and he was getting a little urges after the wire. But it was an all-around easy race. Coming here, stakes quality horses, 2 turns shouldn't be a problem. I think as the distances go longer, this horse should get better. Good Belmont Stakes quality horse right here for the 1.5 miles. But I think today he's sitting on a very good race with I think he's going to improve a lot. 2 back in the debut on the 23rd of January Gulfstream, 7 furlongs main special weight 43,000. He won by 8.5 lengths, and he sat back early after not the best beginning, slowly moved his way up, and when he got the lead, he just kept going. An all-around good race. He's been improving a lot. He's been training very, very well at Palm Meadows. His most recent workouts have been on fire, best of his career going through them, and I think he's sitting on the race of his life. A 3-1 Let's Use Him. And all the years Godolphin has had a Derby horse, I think this might be their best chance to win the Derby with this one. At 3-1, Let's Use Him. If there was a second likeliest winner here, you can't throw out the 4-horse Risk Taking. I loved his Withers win, where he won basically for fun there after a stupidly wide trip. And then before that, in December, he beat a good group of horses home, going 1 mile and 1/8 here at Aqueduct. And another horse, as the distances get longer, he should get better. But something with him, he does take a little bit of time to get going. He's not your fastest horse out of the gate, but he's the kind of horse you want to start using at the 5/16 pole, 3/8 pole to get him going. So hopefully he can win. But at 5-2, he's another horse you have to use on your ticket. But to recap my selection for the 10th from Aqueduct, it is the Wood Memorial, the grade 2 Wood Memorial. Let's use the 6-horse Prevalence as a top selection. Give kudos to the 4-horse Risk Taking. We'll go 6-4-8-2 in the superfecta, 6-4 in the multi-race. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.